brain on. JustProfessor here. You see proof that you are wrong and somehow it makes you more certain you are right. Someone shows you facts, real data, clear evidence, and it contradicts what you believe. It challenges your position. It proves you might be mistaken. And instead of reconsidering, you double down. You find reasons the evidence is flawed. You question the source. You create explanations for why it does not count. And by the end, you are more convinced of your original belief than you were before. Not less. More. The evidence that should have changed your mind actually strengthened your position. And you think you are being logical. You think you are being critical. You think you are defending truth. But you are not. You are just protecting your identity. And your brain will twist anything to keep that identity safe. This is called ideological immunity. And it is why you cannot be reasoned out of beliefs you were not reasoned into. Here's how it works. Your beliefs are not just ideas. They are part of who you are. They connect to your identity, your community, your sense of self. So when someone challenges your beliefs, your brain does not treat it as an intellectual disagreement. It treats it as an attack, a threat, and your immune system kicks in. Not your physical immune system, your psychological one. It identifies the threatening information and neutralizes it. It finds flaws. It creates counter-arguments. It dismisses the source. And it does all of this automatically, before you even consciously think about it. Your brain protects your belief system, the same way your body protects itself from infection. This is why ideological immunity is so powerful. It does not feel like bias. It feels like clarity. You genuinely think you are seeing through bad arguments. You genuinely think you are catching errors in the evidence. You genuinely think you are being more rational than the person presenting the facts. But you are not. You are just defending yourself. And your brain is making you think defense is the same as truth. Most people believe they change their minds when presented with good evidence. They think they are open-minded. They think they follow the facts. They think they are reasonable. But they are not. When evidence threatens their core beliefs, they reject it. And they do it so smoothly that they do not even notice. They think they evaluated the evidence fairly. They think they found legitimate problems with it, but they did not. They just activated their ideological immune system. And that system is incredibly good at making rejection feel like reason. Think about the last time someone challenged a belief you cared deeply about, maybe political, maybe religious, maybe moral. They showed you data. They made arguments. They provided sources. And what did you do? You probably found reasons to dismiss it. You questioned their motives. You pointed out flaws in their logic. You brought up counterexamples. You explained why the context was different. And by the end, you felt vindicated. You felt like you won, like you defended truth against misinformation. But did you actually engage with the evidence? Or did you just protect yourself from it? This is what ideological immunity does. It makes you mistake defense for understanding. It makes you think you are analyzing when you are actually rationalizing. It makes you believe you are open to changing your mind when you are actually fortified against it. Now think about how this plays out in real conversations. Someone from the other side presents evidence. Real evidence. Well-sourced. Well-reasoned. And instead of considering it, you immediately start looking for problems. You do not approach it with curiosity. You approach it with suspicion. You assume it is flawed before you even examine it. And because you assume it is flawed, you find flaws. Even if they are not there, your brain manufactures them. It exaggerates weaknesses. It ignores strengths. It focuses on anything that lets you dismiss the evidence without actually grappling with it. And here is the worst part. When you successfully dismiss the evidence, you feel smarter. You feel like you just defended reason against propaganda, like you saw through manipulation. Like you stood up for truth, but you did not. You just protected your beliefs from a threat, and that protection made you more confident. Not more correct. Just more certain. And certainty is not the same as accuracy. Think about how this creates echo chambers. You surround yourself with people who share your beliefs. And when someone presents contradicting evidence, you all activate your immune systems together. You all find the same flaws. You all dismiss the same sources. You all reinforce the same rationalizations. And together, you become more convinced that you are right. Not because you examined the evidence objectively, but because you defended against it collectively. And collective defense feels like collective wisdom, but it is not. It is just synchronized rejection. This is why ideological immunity is so dangerous. It does not just prevent you from learning. It makes you more extreme. Every time you successfully reject evidence, you become more confident in your position. Every time you find a flaw in an opposing argument, you become more certain you are right. Every time you dismiss a source, you become more convinced that your side has the truth. And slowly, you move further from the center. Not because you discovered new insights, but because you defended your old ones so many times that they feel uncheckable. And the most frustrating part is that you see this in others clearly. You see people on the other side reject obvious facts. You see them twist logic. You see them dismiss credible sources. And you think, how can they be so blind? How can they ignore evidence? How can they be so closed-minded? But you do not see that you are doing the exact same thing. Because your immune system works on them differently than it works on you. When they reject evidence, you see bias. When you reject evidence, you see critical thinking, but it is the same process. Just pointed in different directions. This means ideological immunity is not something other people have. It is something everyone has. You are not immune to it just because you are smart. You are not immune to it just because you value truth. You are not immune to it just because you think you are open-minded. Everyone has this immune system. And everyone uses it. The only difference is whether you notice it. Whether you catch yourself doing it. Whether you stop and ask, am I actually evaluating this evidence or am I just defending my beliefs? So here is what you need to understand. Your beliefs are protected by a psychological immune system. And that system does not care about truth. It cares about survival. The survival of your identity. Your community. Your sense of who you are. And it will sacrifice accuracy to protect that identity. It will twist facts. It will dismiss evidence. It will create rationalizations. And it will make you think you are being rational the whole time. You cannot turn this system off, but you can notice it. You can catch yourself activating it. You can see when you are defending instead of considering. When you are rationalizing instead of reasoning. When you are protecting instead of learning. And once you see it, you can fight it. Not by forcing yourself to accept every opposing argument, but by forcing yourself to actually engage with it. To consider it honestly. To ask what it would take to change your mind. And to be willing to update your beliefs when the evidence demands it. Ideological immunity tells you that changing your mind is weakness, that admitting you were wrong is failure, that updating your beliefs is betrayal. But it is not. Changing your mind when evidence demands it is strength. Admitting error is growth. Updating beliefs is wisdom. And if you cannot do that, you are not defending truth. You are just defending yourself. And there is a difference. Stop letting your immune system decide what is true. Stop rejecting evidence just because it threatens your identity. Stop mistaking defense for reason. And start asking yourself the hard question, am I believing this because it is true? Or am I believing this because my brain will not let me believe anything else? Watch the next video to see more ways your identity controls your thinking.